The fact that I had to do such little research for this was actually kind of concerning. Like the amount of
You're like, I
knowledge
got it. And
that I have in my brain. I was like, I lived it. I know.
I lived through that.
I lived this. I know
That would
it.
be like me doing an episode on One Direction.
Exactly.
I got it all up in here. Hi, and welcome back to the Bias Cut podcast.
Before we get into it, can I talk about Ryan Gosling for a second?
Yes.
Oh my
I
gosh,
love
yes.
him. I love
Tell
him
us
so
about the movie.
I saw the Ryan Gosling movie, the outer space Ryan Gosling movie last night or the other night.
The space
It
one.
was the space one, Project Hail Mary. And I only went because my family was going and I wanted to go with them. I didn't know anything about it. And I don't usually really like sci-fi at
Okay.
all. So when I say this, like, I mean it. That movie was so good, you guys. It was
I'm
beautiful.
so happy.
Yeah.
I laughed, I cried. It was just incredible. Ryan Gosling is such a star. Like, that man is a star. There's no one like
That's
him.
my movie star.
Yeah.
That's my movie
Fully,
star.
he was the majority of that movie, he was just by himself as an actor doing his own thing. And it was just incredible. And
I think
yeah,
that can like breed like the coolest acting is when someone is like left alone to kind of just like, well, especially like a space type mission where you're kind of like going crazy in space. Like, I think that that's so interesting. And I think a good sci-fi movie is going to make you laugh, cry, and think. And that's the
I was
beauty
thinking,
behind a good sci-fi.
I kept thinking throughout, I kept thinking of Winston in New Girl. When you guys, we gotta, what does he say? Guys, I've been thinking a lot about the Earth.
We gotta leave.
We gotta leave it better than the way we found it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again,
He's
yeah,
not
I'll
wrong.
just,
Not.
again though, like, I'm
Is
not a
the
big sci-fi
alien?
person.
I was so curious to see how they would do Rocky. Does Rocky look dumb? Just
I
be
thought
honest with
he
me.
was so good. He was so cute. I loved
good.
Rocky.
Okay.
And I was looking it up afterward because I was like, how did they do this? It's puppetry, a lot of it.
It's a puppet,
They used
right?
a
Yeah,
puppet.
yeah.
Yeah. And so the guy who played him, I forget his name, so talented though, like doing the voice and doing the puppet. And then they also though they had a CGI Rocky. No. Well, yes. They had an animatronic Rocky, a puppet Rocky, and then they would like use CGI, I assume, at the end to like clean it up. But artistry, incredible, amazing.
Good.
Loved it. He was so
Because
cute
that was my
too.
main concern. I was like,
That's really sweet.
because he's described in the book as being like, he's made of rock and he kind of looks like a spider.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so that could be so bad.
You could really mess that up for
could
sure.
really mess that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. Okay.
Yeah. And I haven't read the book. I will now because there were a few parts
It's really
with the
good.
science that I was confused about, and I'm like, that the book will give me more information on that. But my brothers have read the book, a few of them, and from what I've heard from them, it's a very faithful, very nice adaptation of this book. So book
That's
fans should be
good.
happy with it.
That's really good.
Because I've seen the author, Andy Weir, is doing like promo with the rest of them. Like,
Which
so
I
he's
love.
clearly
I want
very
more
involved
authors
in
to
the
do the
process. Yeah,
promo
I
with
love
the
that.
movie. That's so fun.
So that made me feel, I was like, okay. And apparently
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling like bought the rights immediately.
Yeah, he produced
Whoa.
it.
And he was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing this.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I
So
love
it was
that.
this little passion
And
project.
I'll just say though about the movie, like,
I'm so
again,
glad
I
it was
don't
good,
like,
though.
yeah, I don't like sci-fi generally. It's not my cup of tea. But like, this is it just felt very like Spielberg-esque, like classic Spielberg, where it's like, you
Nice.
don't like this genre, but just go see it. You'll like it. Like E.T., Jurassic Park. Like, it's just a movie everyone will like. Like, everyone in my family liked it, which is saying a
Good
lot because I have a big
storytelling.
family. Yeah. So that's all I'll say on that.
Good storytelling is good storytelling. And we love that.
Truly.
Hollywood needs more of that.
Today, we are going to be doing a K-pop fashion deep dive. Sana is the K-pop historian here, so I'll give the floor to you.
Oh no. So, quick disclaimer. I am out of touch with current K-pop dynamics, lore. I don't know any of the new groups. I am sorry. They are children to me. I just can't. And that's not an
But we love
exaggeration. They
them.
are like 15 and 16-year-olds. We love them and I support them and I hope that they are okay.
I hope you're getting the support and help that you need.
Hope you're happy, healthy, live, laugh,
Yeah.
loving. Love you guys.
Exactly.
You're all incredibly talented. So K-pop, I'm going to do a brief history just because I know you two maybe don't know very much about the whole system. And for anyone watching this that is new to K-pop, it has a pretty specific history because it was actively created in a way that's slightly unusual when it comes to other music genres. So I think of it more as a music creation system than a music genre, which I know is not what everyone thinks, but personally, I think of K-pop as a system, a system for creating artists.
That makes sense with their whole like kind of like academy system that's happening, and
So it was started by this guy called Isuman in the 90s. He spent his time studying in the US and then came back to Korea with all these new ideas that he had been inspired by artists like Michael Jackson, and he loved the concept of MTV. He was like, that one.
I want that.
I'll take that one. So he established SM Entertainment in 1989, which would go on to be the biggest and probably the most lucrative record companies in South Korea.
Okay.
The most notable aspect of all of this is how he managed to systemize and standardize the creation of music pop artists, which is what I kind of mentioned before. I will do a disclaimer. This was all heavily influenced by not only like the Western music system in general, but hip hop and Black culture.
Yeah.
Specifically these early artists. I will rap, we're doing hip hop. I am so scared to say appropriating. Because people will come for me.
I have seen like creators on YouTube talking about K-pop and saying that it's like appropriation to some extent. So I think it's okay to kind of like, I don't think that necessarily like has to be
I'm not saying they were bad people for doing it.
Exactly.
I think I would use the word appropriation because they're specifically profiting off of this.
Exactly.
Like they are very much profiting off of Black culture.
Yeah.
And so I think it's fair to say that it is appropriation.
Definitely.
But at the same time, this was like revolutionary in South Korea. Like for a lot of Koreans at that time, this would be their first interaction with this kind of visual aesthetic, with this kind of music. It would have been very new to them. Not that they didn't have access to, American music, but just obviously you're going to more easily see the music of your own country than somewhere else. But the main point is that every part of the creation of a K-pop artist was dealt internally within the company. So they have songwriters, they have producers, they have vocal coaches, they have dance coaches, they have choreographers, the stylists, the makeup, the advertising, the accounting, like literally everything is under the company. And so this allows, obviously, the company to have full control over profits as well as creative direction. That I think was the main kind of selling point for this system, was that the company could maximize their profit. So naturally, more companies were created. They copied the system. And the industry has grown into what we see today, which is there are dozens of these entertainment companies. There are the like big three. They were called they're known as the big three, were S.E.S Entertainment, YG, and JYP. And then because BTS blew up, they were under a small company called Big Hit, which has now become Hybe, which I would say now is probably the biggest, like one of the biggest music companies in the world. Like, It's crazy.
Massive.
They got so much money.
Massive company. Yeah.
Huge. So the system of K-pop is that when groups release new music, it's known as a comeback, and every comeback will have a different concept.
Oh, okay.
So that will be related to the music video and then the music program performances. So I had mentioned at the beginning that Isuman was very inspired by MTV. He takes this concept and he creates, well, not him personally, but they could, like, Korea decides to do these music programs, which essentially artists would come on stage every week, or like, yeah, it will be every week, and then there'll be different programs. So they'll be performing at each program at a different day during the week, and they'll be performing their song. And so it's kind of like Top of the Pops, kind of, you know, we've seen this format in the West as well.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a winner at the end. So
okay.
it based on, I'm assuming it used to be sales and now it's more streaming numbers. But there is like that competition aspect, and they would have to have a different outfit, or they tried to do different outfits for each music performance. That would most of the time link to their music video.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole, like they create a whole world for each comeback.
Yes. Yeah.
So you've got different hair, you've got different, you know, like it could be a vampire concept, or it could be alien concept, whatever, you know, concepts.
It's really, really a part of the overall image of the band.
Yes. But it also allows them to try different looks and
that's cool.
See what aesthetic kind of works best for them. I would say just like there are specific courses in university now where you can study K-pop. Like it has become its own field of study. You can really get into like the academic side of this, whether it's the economic or the sociological. Like the world is your oyster when it comes to this. So I'll leave a couple readings in the description for anyone that wants to get into it. But that's as far as I'm going to go with the general history. My point is just that the company is king in all of this.
Yeah.
Artists have very little control, at least they used to. Not sure how it is now. Still think they have very little, but you know, it is a large group of people making these creative decisions for the artist as the kind of vehicle to carry all of this. So today we're going to get into the fashion and the styling, and maybe ask some questions about why it's relatively ignored in comparison to other aspects of K-pop. Why don't we talk about it? Why is it not seen as like a point of discussion necessarily? So again, just some more background lore, but K-pop has now been separated into what fans call generations. So we have the first artists in the 90s, and they were called first generation. And then now I think we're on like 6th gen, 7th gen.
So we've got some serious generations behind us.
We got some like good chunks.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will correct me if that's wrong. But I was mainly a fan of 3rd gen. So that's like 2012 to like 2019. I don't know.
Okay.
But I am a dinosaur. Like that is that's all.
And who would those groups be?
So my main groups were yes, BTS did get me into K-pop. They did. But I'm a blood, sweat and tears BTS fan. So like again, don't I've been here. I've been here, you guys. So I'm not just talking out. The fact that I had to do such little research for this was actually kind of concerning. Like the amount of
you're like, I got it.
And that I have in my brain. I was like, I lived it. I know.
I lived through it.
I lived it. I know
that would be like me doing an episode on One Direction.
Exactly.
I got it all up in here.
So I was EXO, BTS, Monster X, 17. That one means something to the K-pop fans watching this.
I've heard of 17.
Yeah,
and
like
BTS, and those are the only.
For context, these groups have now been around for like 12 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just a disclaimer. Don't get mad at me, okay? I've been here for a while. I promise. So we're gonna get into first gen first, which I've already referenced the hip hop aspect. You can see here. So these first two images are Sotaji and the boys. It's very it's giving so what I have like this is just my opinion, it's my opinion, they kind of did a sanitized version of hip hop. If we think about the topics that like rap usually covers, this is not what they were necessarily rapping about, right? They were still pretty like they were considered kind of controversial, but they were kind of talking about, I think they have one of the most famous songs is about like school violence. Like they were very like and like political corruption. Like they were quite kind of pointing out
issues,
injustices or like social issues in a way. But in terms of their like visuals, I think of it as kind of a sanitized, like cutified almost version of hip hop. So you have like the overalls and the bright colors, which isn't like that was in American hip hop culture as well, but that seems to be like the focus, and what that was the element that they decided to bring in is make it bright, make it kind of cute essentially. And I don't know, I don't know if that's because that was just their taste and they just preferred it that way, or if they were trying to make it a little bit more approachable. Ooh, I don't know what word to use, like palatable maybe for the South Korean audience, because they were already like pushing it a little bit in terms of their lyrics and the music itself. I wonder if like visually they were like, let's tone it down a little bit.
Well, I guess my question is, how popular was like black hip hop in Korea at the time?
Very underground.
Very underground.
Very underground.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure young people were listening to it, but not necessarily the demographic that were listening to this group.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. So that would make sense if it was essentially like toned down, I guess, to make it sell.
Personally, that's what I think, but that is just my opinion, and I have not studied this like extensively. So again, if you have any like further insights on this, please like let us know. I would be very interested. And I think of the early K-pop as being quite theatrical. Like it felt quite costumey to me, especially for the guys. The girls were very heavily like 90s, 2000s. I would say quite similar to what we were seeing in Western artists as well. The like, you know, a little midriff showing, kind of very slim silhouettes, you know, cute gals, frosty. Super frosty.
Iced out.
Yeah. And also schoolgirls. I have to mention it because it's such a big trend in K-pop, but the school uniform is undeniably a big part of a lot of young groups.
Is the one girl wearing braids?
Yeah, probably. When I say appropriation, I do mean appropriation. But that's not my conversation to have, I think.
Yes.
I think there are plenty of other people on this app who have talked about it, and who have more cultural knowledge to provide. But school uniforms were a big part. I could get into the psychology of that, and I'm just going to choose not to. Ultimately, I think we're all aware at this point that there is very much a predatory gaze in all societies across the globe.
Yep.
And South Korea is not an exception. Yep. I also think the underlying issue is that they just debut young kids, young people. I shouldn't say young kids. They sometimes they are kids, but young adults. And I think in their head, it's like, oh, well, they're children and they're still in school. So I guess the appropriate thing to do would be to put them in school uniform. But then it also is a kind of, oh, but you're also
you're making it like
a spectacle
sexy.
And making it sexy. And I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are levels to that, but that's going to be a whole other video if we do that. And like I said, they're still doing it. They're still doing it.
We gotta stop, guys.
We gotta stop.
Put down the school uniform.
Put them down. Put them away.
It's gonna be okay.
It is. So then we get into the 2000s, which is where we get the fun stuff. you know?
Okay.
We get a bit cookie crazy.
Okay, things are getting fun now.
Things are getting fun. Not that they weren't fun before, but
Yeah,
now
yeah,
it's like, this is true like Disney Channel craziness. Like this is campy goodness that we love to see. It is animal print. It is ridiculous hairstyles. It is clashing colors.
The one picture of Girls' Generation in like the colorful jeans, that is so Disney Channel. Like it's so
Disney
like
Channel.
yeah.
I love it.
So actually, that was like
Very Camp Rock.
hugely. That was hugely successful in South Korea. So this was for
cool.
G.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they, alongside the boy group Shiny, then you'll get some real Disney legs.
Love it.
Wow.
Yes.
Love Disney Channel legs.
It's Disney legs in every angle.
Oh my gosh. I
The
just
jeans
love
have
the,
never
the
been
poses
skinnier.
are so like
The jeans have never been skinnier. And this, what is interesting about this is they popularized these kind of style of skinny jeans in South Korea. The boys were wearing these out in the streets.
Awesome.
Out in
That's
the
awesome.
streets. And it's amazing. And also, again, the girls were doing the skinny jeans with the ridiculously high pumps. Like that was the it girl look.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of
It's like
course.
the Pretty Little Liars where they're wearing like
Yes, very
stilettos to
that.
school. Like, yeah, of course you're wearing stilettos and
Blazers
skinny jeans to school. Of course.
and patterned bomber jackets. Like, love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This was
yeah.
all like very in line with what we saw in the West as well. And it's great. It's ridiculous and it's great.
Yeah,
It really took over the world.
Some of the hairstyles were, it did.
Yeah, truly.
It did. Some of the hairstyles were truly horrific. If you really zoom into that, that's some crazy hair.
The one with the like kind of like shaved bit and then it swoops reminds me of what was that like crazy a cappella group, and they were like all
Pentatonics?
yeah.
Oh my god.
Same
And
era.
you know
Reminds
what?
me of
Like,
that.
K-pop was doing it first. K-pop was doing
Yeah.
it first. I even think the Disney legs might predate actual Disney legs.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'll have to fact check that, but and their, so this is Shiny. This was one of my, still to this day, one of my faves. Love them. Their first song is called Replay, and it's about them singing to an older woman, being like, "Hey, I might be young, but I will look after you."
Ooh.
Okay. Saucy.
And I love it so much.
Wow.
I still listen to that song regularly.
You put it on replay, some might
I
say.
do. And I do. Some of you are young folk out there, you don't know. What do you know about Shiny Replay? Moving swiftly on to third gen, which is my kind of era when I was a teenager. Oh, I'm so old.
Yeah.
This was where I consider there being more of like a standardization, more of a standardization in K-pop fashion.
Okay.
So as I've kind of touched upon, there are a lot of like practical considerations that need to be taken into account when it comes to like K-pop clothing. Because these girls are doing all sorts of,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. You need like genuine movement in your clothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so obviously once you find a specific look or like combination of garments that this group can move in, you're going to stick to it in some respect, you know? And so for girls, it was very much these like short shorts, these little itty bitty shorts. Sometimes they'll wear a mini skirt over top, and then a crop top and some like Converse or boots. And that was like, this works. The girls can dance in this. And then for boys, you get skinny jeans. We're still sticking with the skinny jeans. Also, if you want to just see where BTS started, can we just take it to, if you just scroll to BTS, yeah, that's how they started.
That's
In
awesome.
in case anyone's curious.
Just put that picture with like this like new like their like new comeback look like.
They've come a long way.
Listen, another
some may say.
big ass hat.
Big ass hat. Oh, Jin. Yeah, and all of that. Is that fire print? Is it what print is that? I don't know.
I think it's fire print. Oh,
Who
actually,
knows?
no, it looks like kind of that like
Versace Baroque kind of.
Yeah.
yeah, slash also that like that like techno pattern.
Zoom in on the center guy's shirt. What is that on his white shirt?
One of my favorite images. Insert my favorite meme.
Hello, princess.
What a moment in time. God, BTS, I love you, but you really started off rough. Godspeed to you all. Yeah, so
That's
we get
awesome.
into this like, we're still hip hop, but it's kind of a Justin Bieber hip hop. That's what I'm gonna call it. Would you agree?
It's definitely Justin Bieber
Yeah.
adjacent. Yeah.
Like there's something about the kind of the baggy shorts, but still wearing the tights underneath, and then like these tank top jerseys and the
Yeah.
hat. That just like it does read like a copy of, as opposed to a genuine aesthetic. Don't know about. I don't know if
It's
you
also
agree.
just like, what are you wearing? It feels very like I'm just like a dancer coming out of the studio type look.
Which maybe was the goal.
Truly.
So you can scroll down a little bit to see a couple more third gen groups. We got EXO, which was my guys. Then we have Blackpink, our girlies, who are huge now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we get bigger groups. So EXO was originally 12, lol. We're now down to 9. Well, 8. Well,
Wow.
5 actually. No. Well,
Well, one.
We're losing people left and
There's
right here.
one member left.
it's a complicated situation.
I mean, I
but-
guess that helps having more people, so that way, like, you know, when
They
membership
leave,
goes
it's
down,
fine.
I mean,
I don't know.
at least you have a couple left.
At least you got a couple. I don't know. They're still trying to make it work.
Okay.
Bless them.
I don't know the lore behind it, so
There is a criminal he who shall not be named, and I'll tell you which one that is, so we can get rid of him.
yeah, 100%.
But we have Blackpink getting onto the girlies.
Yes.
The first image was close to their debut, so you can see how young they were. But we can see the shorts, we can see the combat boots, we can see the skinny jeans, the crop
The
tops,
fishnet tights
fishnets.
with the hot pants shorts.
Yeah, that was very standard.
Yeah.
And below as well, when they're a little bit older, but you can still kind of see what I mean by these like standard silhouettes, you know? Like it's a short dress, it's a lot of accessories, it's boots they can dance. These boots were made for walking, you know?
These boots were made for dancing.
And you have fun hair. Fun hair is also a very big part of it.
I like the colorful hair bit.
Yeah, I think
that's
it's
cool.
fun. We also have Red Velvet, which they are a very conceptual group. So they did one where stylists kind of take two approaches of either dressing the group in all of the same thing, which we have here when they're all in that red dress, which I love. It's very like Pippi Longstockings. It's
I
very
really
cute.
like
I love that.
Isn't it so fun? Or they go the other route, which is sticking to a concept but doing slightly different variations. So for their red flavor comeback, they went kind of nautical with it. So they had a lot of these blue and white stripes. It was very summertime. It was very like, we're young, fresh, and free.
I love this album cover. I feel like
Isn't it
it's
so good? I love
it's
it.
so good. It's like there's so much drama in their faces too.
And then for men, we also have, so this is Monster X. This might be a hot take and this might make people angry, but I think Monster X stylists created the blueprint for current boy group styling. Whoa.
I'm really seeing that just in this all white ensemble look. Like I'm picking up what you're putting down in
Thank
that
you, thank
it's
you.
all very like it's the same but different and like in a really cool way.
So the
where
key
it's like
with
accessorized
them
different.
is I think they made suits performance wear. And it's not that boy groups weren't wearing suits before this. They were.
Okay.
But this kind of fit with extreme accessories and also I couldn't find a proper photo, which is shocking. But in the red photo, you can see one of the guys on the left-hand side. He's wearing a kind of harness-esque
Yeah.
accessory. Monster X's stylists made harnesses a big thing.
Yeah.
The boys are wearing
I
harnesses all the
love
time.
this. This all red. This is sick.
So
Like,
good. That one's one of my faves. But yeah, they really, so their stylist went hard on the kind of, again, this kind of regal look. But they kept it young by incorporating these kind of unconventional accessories. So you have the harnesses, you have like these sashes, you have fun hats and headpieces, a lot of necklaces. If you want like fun menswear, K-pop is where it's at. They really
this is
seem
really
to
cool.
be a lot more open to playing with gender, and it's almost as if they truly view clothing as non-gendered.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it other than like I don't even think it's like, oh, wear this necklace because it's kind of feminine. No, it's just like, wear this necklace because it's cute and it makes you
Well, I
shine.
wonder, and I don't know anything about like the history of Korean menswear, women's wear, but I wonder if it like has to do with like not like were there kind of unclear distinctions between women's wear and menswear? Like
If you look at traditional
I'm not entirely
clothing,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will get a bit more into that later, but you're right in that they had very similar silhouettes in kind of. I'm just trying to think of when like Western fashion entered it because that's always where it kind of gets
Yeah.
a bit confusing. But yeah, like Joseon era was quite similar in terms of overall silhouettes and pieces. But yeah, the boys aren't afraid to wear jewelry at
That's so
all in
cool.
K-pop. They
Yeah.
wear it a lot. They'll wear interesting silhouettes, like they'll wear crop tops. Like,
Well, this is
boys
the
are out
thing
here.
too about like stage presence too is like you do want a level of flamboyancy because you're
Yes.
performing and you're like on stage, and so you want things that are like reflective and like have movement to them and
Yeah.
and are interesting to look at. So it would make sense to kind of like blur those gender lines like just by nature of performing.
Yeah. And I will say though, they don't talk about it though.
Yeah.
Like it's a very unspoken. Like they'll do it, but discuss it? Absolutely not.
No.
Like if we're gonna talk about, queer culture in Asia, it's still very much an unspoken thing. But I think it's cool in its own way of that it's just taken as like, this is just what we do. I think
Yeah.
that in and of itself is quite fun.
100%. I definitely agree. And I just love this red look. It's
The red
so
is so
cool.
good. Monster X and red is my
That is just
my special
so
interest.
good.
I love it.
And also like the one blazer that's like tattered
Yeah.
at the bottom. It's like sometimes you see distressed stuff and you're like, what the fuck? Like this just looks
What is
dumb.
that?
But this like I don't know, just looks really cool. I love it.
Yeah, Changyeon, he's in the military now.
Dang it.
Have fun.
Another one lost to war.
He'll be back in a year.
Give
It's
him
so
time.
funny how they just like bob in and out. Like, yeah, go serve your nation, I guess.
That's one thing that I was gonna ask about BTS because it was this really big thing that they all left, and it seems like just by the nature of how their government works, like that's something that would actually happen pretty frequently. So, do you know why? I guess
do you
know why BTS, like, because it seemed like everyone was talking about BTS being
Yes.
away. Do you know why it was such a big thing for them as opposed to other groups, or?
Yeah. So the law in Korea, as far as I know, is that any men, basically up until you have up until you're 30 to enlist. You have to enlist by the age of 30. The thing with BTS is that a lot of Olympians and people who have like significantly contributed to the either the economy of Korea or the kind of cultural capital of the country can be exempt.
Okay.
So a lot of people are like, if you've won a gold medal, a lot of the times you're exempt from military service.
Okay.
So with BTS, it was kind of like they have contributed so significantly to the country's economy and like the global status, people were arguing that they should be exempt from military service.
So it was a big conversation.
So it was a big conversation. Ultimately, I think the members were just like, we want to serve, like, just personally.
Kind of gives
that's
you
what we
like a
wanna do.
break too.
Yeah.
As an artist, I would assume. Even though like going into the military is not really a break, but you know.
No, but that's what a lot of idols like need it just for mental health, to be like a normal person for a while.
100%.
But yeah, that was the big. That was the big
that
thing.
makes sense. Yeah.
So I included NCT here just because look how crazy this is under the little red suits. My guy.
Just the casual thing of fur just draped across,
bad
the
at the side
and then
fringe.
literally, and then wearing just a t-shirt and like sweatpants is crazy.
The side fringe and the little like scarf, like beanie thing. It's so funny.
Suspenders.
So that's 17. We've got 17.
Yeah.
This is the biggest group so far that I've shown. There's 13 members. I know they're called 17. They don't actually have 17 members. It's confusing, but
dang it.
There's 13 of them. They're cutie patooties. But this is a good example of when you have such a big group that it is sometimes just easiest to stick them all in the same thing.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I think it's more like budget-wise as well. Like dressing 12 people with multiple looks for a single music video, you gotta try. And like these stylists are probably not working with like a ton, especially when these are new groups and they're not making that much money. So you see later on that's a much more recent comeback, and you can see the scale is completely different. Like they've all got different looks.
Yeah. I love these looks.
Yeah.
These are so cool.
And that leads me on to another trend that has started to develop relatively recently, I'd say in the past like 5 or 6 years, which is stylists bringing in more traditional Korean fashion into their performance looks. So the whole, like the phenomenon of South Korean culture becoming more popular globally is called the Hallyu wave. Don't know if you've heard that phrase before. But you can tell that groups are definitely taking on more responsibility to kind of champion South Korean cultural identity. And I think a big way that they kind of demonstrate their national pride is through clothing, first and foremost. So you have 17 here with a lot of different like modernized hanbok influences. So you have the asymmetrical wrap jacket. We can put the names as well of the actual, Korean names. Overall, so it's a jogori, I think, and that's what like the wrap jacket is called. And then you either have it with a skirt or a trouser. So when we were talking about the differences between kind of masculine and feminine silhouettes, they shared this jacket silhouette. That was a common for both men and women. And then men would wear the trousers and women would wear the skirts. And then they'd also oftentimes have a outerwear layer on top as well. So you can see influences of all of that in these looks. And also you have a couple of different groups in more of these modernized hanbok. So for the boy groups, I've got, so we have 80s, Stray Kids and BTS. So BTS has been doing this for a while in terms of incorporating cultural heritage into their looks, as well as Stray Kids and 80s, and I'm sure many other groups that I haven't mentioned. And in terms of girl groups, you can see Blackpink. This was during their How You Like That era. And then next to it, you have a group called IVE. And I like this one because it's a much more subtle reference. You wouldn't necessarily recognize it straight off the bat.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of, so this is a Korean designer that did these looks as well. And I like that they've kind of broadly taken an inspiration from silhouettes, and also this kind of semi-translucent fabrics, these sheer fabrics. That's also very common with traditional garments as well. They had a very fine cotton that they would use. And so you're kind of seeing it here in the accessories, in the skirts, in the ties, the hair. It's all very fun. I really like the looks from...
Yeah, these are really cool. I like it.
You can go to, we'll put a link, but there's the National Folk Museum of Korea. and that has some really great examples of historical garments, and they also explain more what each garment is and who would wear them and when they would wear them. Definitely recommend looking at them because there are some gorgeous bits. Gorgeous bits and bobs. So now we'll get into K-pop groups and brands. So you may have noticed that all of these looks that I've kind of talked about, there's no like logos or branding. It's all very kind of just like, it's kind of separate from the designer world, right? I'm assuming a lot of the times these are custom looks as well, with stylists making them themselves. But there have been idols who have approached the world of high fashion and European brands. And the two that I think of as like the mother and father of this are an artist called G-Dragon, who was the leader of a very, very famous K-pop group called Big Bang. They belong to like second generation, so that's like timing wise, you can kind of place them. And he was an absolute like fashion pioneer when it comes to personal style. Because again, I've only really spoken about group styling. I haven't really talked about these idols as individuals and their personal kind of fashion ethos. So G-Dragon is a Chanel boy through and through. Ooh. This boy has been wearing Chanel since he could get his hands on it. And honestly, he sells Chanel to me in a way that like no one else has been able to. You can see he's the first guy that I've got up here.
Yeah.
It just feels like so natural to him.
It just looks cool. Yeah. It really makes sense.
The scarf with the glasses and the tweed, is that, it looks like tweed? No, it's more of a checked blazer. Is like, I need to have that right now.
That is his like iconic, right?
Yeah.
I really like that one, Maggie.
And I'm gonna copy it. I should have.
It's so good.
You should have let me know. I have all those pieces. I don't have the glasses, but
you go out of frame for 2 seconds, come back.
Okay. You guys, we need to re-record.
No, if you follow our Instagram, maybe we'll post a cheeky something on the stories.
I was gonna say, like, if we actually want to do that bit, I could in like a couple minutes put that together.
Again, go to our Instagram stories. You might find something fun. It's just all of us doing it.
Literally. I love this this checkered blazer with the big fucking flower right here. Yeah. That's awesome.
Again, he just like to me that is what Chanel should be.
Yeah.
He sells it in such this like effortless way. And of course we have a photo of him with Mr. Karl Lagerfeld.
Yeah.
He was one of the first idols to attend a Fashion Week show, I believe.
Whoa.
I think he attended a like mid 2010s Chanel show.
Wow.
And there you can see him with Mr. Lagerfeld. So he loves Chanel. You know, like genuinely, truly, that is his brand.
That's really cool.
He loves tweed jackets. He loves costume jewelry. He loves the silk scarf, flowers. He is here for it.
I think that's like, it shows that when you genuinely love a brand, you can make it look so cool, even though like I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Chanel, and seeing him wear it, I'm like, that's sick. Like you like you're wearing it. You bring that like
and that's what an ambassadorship should be.
Yes. Exactly. Someone who's genuinely interested in the brand.
Yes. And then so he's who I like to call the dad of K-pop fashion. And then we have the mom. So we have CL, who is the leader of Big Bang's sister group, essentially, 21. They were a huge girl group in second generation again. They still are, but they're just not actively, making music right now. But she is just an icon. I mean, look at these looks.
No, this is so like, it's maximalism in such a fun way. It's colorful. Like she's just, she's wearing the pieces and you can tell that she I don't know, I was just vibing with it. This one photo shoot with the boxer gloves is literally sick. I love that. I love that.
Cool.
And it looks like her hair is almost fighting.
Yes.
Like
yes, it does.
so
it's
cool.
so fun.
Yeah.
If you want to get into some fun concept art, so that was for her Alpha album. If you look into the stuff she did for that, so cool.
I'm gonna do a deep dive. This is so cool. I love this.
So CL developed a relationship with Jeremy Scott from Moschino quite early on.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she attended a bunch of his shows, and also he dressed 21 a few times as well.
Oh, cool.
Because again, she was also involved in the styling of her group as well. So to me, what is like key about both of these individuals is, like I said, they're expressing a truly personal sense of style in a landscape that very much deprives the idol of a connection to the clothes they wear. Like
and
idols
individuality.
Idols are essentially dolls in this industry. And I'm sure they get some say in what they can wear, but ultimately it's the stylist that is getting instruction from the company. They have a brief that they need to hit, and that's that, you know. And so CL and G-Dragon are just unapologetically brash and bold with their fashion, which I love. Like, these aren't, you know, conventional looks, right? They're unconventional, they're provocative, and I love it the most because it is in the context of quite a conservative environment in South Korea. Like, South Korea does not encourage standing out when fashion is involved. Like, if you go to Seoul right now, everyone will be wearing a different variation of the same outfit. Like, people won't be wearing color. They'll look good. Like, they're very like polished and put together, but it is very standardized. So G-Dragon and CL were very much like trailblazers when it comes to this. And I also love that G-Dragon is a lot of his stuff is again about playing with gender presentation. He loves accessories. And he plays with them in such fun ways. And he loves pink as well. The man loves pink.
I know. I love this all pink outfit and like the little frill coming out in the bottom.
That was a custom Chanel performance look that he got.
That's awesome.
He recently came back with an album last year, I believe, called Übermensch. He's very philosophical. He like gets into his references are crazy, but it's a great album if you want to listen to it. And he did a big performance of it, and this whole look is all custom Chanel. He had a very big say in all of it, in designing it.
That's cool.
He has his own perfume. Like, the boy is a designer at heart as well.
So when some of these performers, when they're going off and like doing their own thing, do they tend to sign under a similar label, or do they do like independent? Have any artists gone independent? Yeah,
a lot of them do. I'm not sure if GD is still with his original company or if he's changed. I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I don't think he's an independent artist right now, but he just has so much like cultural sway. Like, he is he's one of the most famous people in Korea. Like, he, you know, is that bitch, if you will.
Yeah.
he's able
to
do what he wants.
Yeah,
even if he's going against his company.
Is CL the same way?
Yes.
Okay,
so cool. What I love about her is that she plays a lot with like expressing her sexuality through clothing. She wears a lot more revealing silhouettes and like is very comfortable kind of exploring that. Particularly when, and I know this will sound crazy because to us she is an incredibly slim woman, but CL would not be considered slim enough for South Korean standards.
You're kidding me.
No. No. Nope.
You're kidding me.
Nope. Nope.
I'm looking at these pictures and I'm like, ooh.
I know.
How much slimmer could she be?
Ah!
It's wild.
Wow. That's really sad, but I mean, hey.
But she has always like she's not let that stop her from
That's really cool.
playing with her clothing and wearing things that would not be considered like appropriate by Korean standards, and maybe even global standards. I don't know. I think a big a thing that impacted this kind of lack of idol personal style is, or I'll say visible personal style, because obviously these are still people like wearing clothes in their day-to-day life.
Yeah.
But idols didn't have access to social media very easily.
Okay.
So a lot of the times they didn't have phones. Crazy. When they were in the first, so they're called rookies for the first 2 years, their company wouldn't let them have a phone a lot of the time. Yeah. They'd often have like live-in managers. So they'd all live in dorms and their manager would live with them. And they're basically like not allowed to leave the house without a member of staff. It's crazy.
That's ripe for abuse.
Yeah. So they're like idols are controlled to a level that is just completely insane. And obviously that means that we're not really going to see them outside of a very curated image.
Right.
So that is what made G-Dragon and CL so like revolutionary with their clothing. Because they're really saying like screw that to that whole,
they're like going out and about in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we fast forward to today, which we're in a very different landscape when it comes to idols and brands now, because almost every major idol has a brand ambassadorship with a European fashion house.
Okay.
So, I mean, you might know like Jenny and Chanel. That's like a really big one right now. And I think brands have just realized the insane selling power of these celebrities. They know that if an idol is seen wearing, like, it could just be a hat, it could be a pair of sunglasses, like that thing will sell out immediately. And their brand name will be like exponentially elevated in the Asian market. And also I think it introduces these legacy houses to a younger demographic. Because if we think about, like, most young people don't have a connection to heritage brands. Why would they? You know?
Yeah.
And so their first exposure to them is likely going to be through one of these idols. I think Chanel has really inextricably linked itself to Jenny's image, that fans will probably think of her when they see Chanel in real life. They'll see Chanel and be like, oh yeah, Jenny wears that brand. You know, there's going to be that.
That's crazy, just specifically for like Chanel on their part was so smart to go with Jenny, just because Jenny is like so popular globally
and really fits their image. Like, again, 100%. It's about being smart when you choose these.
Just like
100%.
this is incredible. I was stiving on myself,
great.
but like that's what I want for Chanel in the 21st
That's a
century,
Chanel girl,
for sure.
100%.
And her Met Gala look, like, listen, is it the best look ever? No. But that's such a Chanel look. Like, that's a Chanel girl, you know?
Sometimes with, like, Met Gala stuff, when it's, like, not, like, fully on the theme, if it's still cute, it's still cute.
You know? And she looks cute. That is
she
a
looks
cute
good.
Look.
Yeah.
And we also have, so this is Hyunjin from Stray Kids, and he's kind of the fashion it boy right now.
Okay.
He might not be a name that you would recognize, but he is getting, like, the fashion girlies are fighting for him.
Clearly Versace is,
so he's a Versace boy. I just love the buzz cut with the Versace in it.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
And again, it's about like being smart about choosing who to do. Like, he's a Versace boy. Like, his sharp features and, like, it all just works. It's
effortlessly cool, but like a little edgy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like too much. Like, to wear Versace, you have to have like a really strong, like, personal image, I think.
100%.
To not get
it's a very
up by the
bold
clothes.
brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just think that was just a really good one.
This XG kind of like space
So I'm gonna get
look.
into it. Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I put them there for a reason.
I love them.
So I will also just mention the airport fashion. We talked about it in a previous episode. And this is kind of a grey area because I'm not sure if they're always styled for this or if it is closer to their personal style. It's probably a mix of both. I think it used to be more heavily styled, and now they're realizing that you can let idols wear what they want.
Make it look more natural,
But I think a big part of this is that it's like become such a key publicity opportunity. So you can often like that's what like where the brand ambassadorship is like hinted at. The idol will wear a bag or a pair of sunglasses or a watch, and then that kind of develops into a more concrete relationship between that idol and the designer later on. I think it's kind of a way, this is completely a theory, I have no idea, but I can totally see stylists being like, hey, we really want you to go for this brand. We're gonna give you this, like this bag, wear this at the airport to get that brand's attention kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because that's what I would
do
if I was a stylist.
Yeah. And then you basically can style around that. But
and then the brand can then approach you and be like, hey, we saw that you wear our stuff sometimes. Let's make this a thing. But beyond the orchestrated publicity moments, I personally think that idol stylists and South Korean stylists are tapped into fashion in a way that like Western stylists just aren't as much. And I say this because idols were wearing, do you know Marine Serre? The half moon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, yes.
So idols were wearing that early. They were wearing that early. I found out about Chipotle through a K-pop group back in 2020, and this was iZone, and every single member wore a carabiner skirt, which, if you don't know, is like the signature Chipotle look. I'm actually wearing one of their shirts now. Hey. But it's crazy that like that is how I discovered it. They're an independent like British designer based in London.
They're in your city.
And I found out about them through a Korean K-pop. Like, that's crazy.
No, but that's it shows that the stylists are doing like they're tapped in such a real way. Yeah.
And I think a really good example of this is through XG. And now, before anyone argues with me about XG is a K-pop, I am saying that they operate within the K-pop system. Therefore, I am talking about them now. Okay, okay. So
why
XG
are they not considered to be a
group
K-pop?
full of Japanese members?
Okay,
and all of their songs are in English. So I do get it. I get it. I get it. But I think of K-pop as a system, as I've said at the beginning, and they are performing on these music programs. They followed the trainee system. They're, I think it's safe to talk about them in this context.
For the purposes of this video, yes.
For the purposes of this video.
Yeah, 100%.
But I will say it will be Japanese stylists then for this. Or I don't know, actually. I don't know the nationality of their stylists. But they are wearing, like, in their most... So the music video that really blew them up was Shooting Star. And in that, they were wearing Masha Popova, which again is a pretty underground London designer, like London-based designer. And it's only after that you see like Dua Lipa wearing them and like other Western artists wearing them. You have them in full Chipova looks. You have them in these Jean-Paul Gaultier bodysuits. I don't know if you remember this having a moment.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
They were on that.
I love them, honestly.
They're so fun.
They're so cool.
And yeah, they have these sick custom looks for these like these alien-esque. Their whole concept is alien, outer space kind of thing, and they just come up with the coolest stuff and
like
work
that
with
look
so
is just
many.
So cool.
It's so cool. They work with so many artists as well to make all of these like headpieces and custom nails.
That's
and it's
awesome.
just it feels so collaborative in a way that Western styling sometimes doesn't, I will say. Like, I feel like it's quite rare to see, I don't really know how to word it. I think it's just like, you don't get those moments as much in Western pop music right now, where you see that there is like a bunch of artists have come together to create something really cool. You know?
Yeah.
You do see it sometimes, but it's just way more prevalent in the K-pop system in my opinion, which was what makes it so fun. I also really appreciate them working with smaller designers because I've learned that actually stylists will buy these items. Like, they're not loans.
That's really cool.
I've heard that they're all like, they're purchasing these pieces, which is so helpful for these smaller artists, like smaller designers who, you know, it's tough out there for them. And so to get that kind of support is just really cool. And it just shows me that you actually like respect the industry and, you know, care about fashion. So yeah, I think we just need to be talking about Korean stylists a bit more. I think we need to be talking about Korean fashion. I think that there is exciting stuff here and it's worth as much discussion as Western celebrities on red carpets, in my 100%. opinion.
Yeah.
Well, you're missing out on a lot of really good styling and collaboration if you know, aren't looking at, and especially they're finding these like smaller artists and then kind of making them hot. Like, they're clearly tapped in. So
I also think it's more accessible for like the average person to kind of emulate. Because when you have kind of like Western celebrities on red carpets, that's like evening looks. It's these grand looks that you can't really bring into your day-to-day wardrobe. I mean, you can, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not as easily translatable. Whereas this is like, their performance looks are out there and they are, you know, specific, but just techniques of like layering and different accessories you can use and like mixing different fabrics, and it just feels way more experimental and more fun and just gives people more options and like different ways to see your clothes, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, all of this makes me feel really inspired about clothing in general, and I feel like I've kind of been going through a bit of a dark period with clothing, so I really do feel like inspired of like like you said, the layering. This was so interesting. I love this
episode.
Yes,
everyone.
I learned so much.
Somewhat entertaining.
It was.
I don't even know
learned
what
so
this
much.
is really about.
I really feel inspired, and also I think it's cool seeing kind of the how it's evolved over the years. Like I think the like initial kind of being inspired by Black hip hop, and then it evolving into these other more potentially culturally relevant and then also kind of global as well inspirations, all kind of forming in. Like, it really feels like there's kind of a momentum. So I think
and I'm excited to recreate the G-Dragon look.
Yes, we will do that. I think we should all do it and put it on stories. I think
I have all the bits.
It'll be fun promo for the episode.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, we'll do a short.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Sana. This was so cool. I loved
Thanks
it.
for joining me on this journey.
And again, no hate to any groups. We were just here to look at.
We're just talking about clothes.
Styles. We're just talking about clothing.
Yeah,
that's it.
And if there's anyone you want us to,
we
talk
don't have
more
any
in depth
opinions
about,
on any of the groups.
We would be so
I would
excited.
love to do it from like a specific group. That would be really fun. You could do a full XG video. I would love to do that.
Honestly, I'm like, XG, that space look is really something. So
I can just do G-Dragon through the ages, honestly. That man has really tried everything.
Well, if you'd be interested in that, comment down below and let us know.
Yes.
Give us a like. And give a cheeky subscribe.
Engage in the comments. Tell us your favorite looks. Tell us what you love, what you don't like, and we will see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye.